I'm from the Northwest, so I've heard about Macklemore and Ryan Lewis for years. They played very small stages at Bumbershoot, which is the big Seattle festival. They played every festival in the Northwest for about 10 years now.
He grew up in Seattle. Like, I don't like, what other rapper is like from Seattle?
And they put out this record called The Heist. It's an independent, truly independent album. Came out and then slowly, just sort of continued to build steam, caught fire.
I kind of feel like they're the hipster hip-hop act. So I think what they talk about and what they sing about and their videos really reflect who they are. They don't seem like they're trying to be these white boy hip-hop artists.
One thing that stands out for them is sort of a song like Thrift Shop, just sort of the stance it takes, this sort of anti-establishment, anti-ephemera, for lack of a better term, bling stance. He buys his stuff at a thrift store and talks about like $50 for a t-shirt.
They be like, oh, that Gucci, that's hella tight. I'm like, yo, that's $50 for a t-shirt.
One of the few hip-hop songs that dares to sort of poke fun at the tenets of what the genre has certainly become and maybe parodied them to a degree.
Thrift Shop is a very sort of like, unique personal style, self-expression kind of thing, which is kind of an alternative point of view.
Seeing Macklemore writing a song that's very clearly a response to, I'm not really wearing Gucci and Versace like that, I can't do that. I think there is a sense that those images and those ideas are getting a little bit exhausted at this point, and to be able to get out there with a reaction to it, I think a lot of people were waiting for somebody to say it.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to.
Macklemore's Same Love is not only a powerful song, but it's powerful because of its timing. When a song comes along at the right time and has a powerful message, sure, but it's made more powerful by what's happening in the world.
When I was in the 3rd grade, I thought that I was gay, because I could draw. My uncle was, and I kept my room straight.
What I found really interesting about that was he said, when I was a kid, I thought I was gay. And I'm not, but I really wondered. And that made me reevaluate everything. It's a conversation with himself and with his audience, and a really honest one. And I found that really appealing.
When you first heard that song on the radio, it was just startling. I mean, there really had not been anything like that.
There's a lot of different stories around why he wrote Same Love, but it's that he has a gay uncle. It's that he was fighting for marriage rights in the state of Washington, where he's from. The idea that this song was released as a single right as the Defense of Marriage Act was in the news every single day in the United States. This idea that we had to confront whether LGBT people should be given marriage rights.
I still think that this is the most progressive that the country has been. A song like that, I think, hopefully will give another MC some courage to go out and also make that statement.
Return to the Mac, get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit me get.
The Heist sold 1 million copies as of August. That hardly happens for any artist, much less independent ones. All 4 of their singles went into Billboard's Hip Hop R&B Top 10. People think of Macklemore as just a viral hit. His album was a huge hit. By any standard, Can't Hold Us was the #1 streamed song on Spotify in 2013.
Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us.
I thought that the Can't Hold Us video was like surreal and a little bit psychedelic. I just had like question marks coming out of my head.
I was looking at it going, this is an indie band? What do you mean indie? There was so much money. If you can put a flag at the top of the tower in Seattle, you're not working on the cheap.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a video that was that big or looks like it costs that much money in 2013 when, budgets are shrinking and they're an independent artist. So literally, this was all their money. They took their own money, put it into this thing. It looks like the kind of video that was supposed to be played on, movie screens and not, on an iPhone. So.
Hello, haters. Damn, y'all mad. 30K on the caddy. Now how backpack rap is that?
The fact that White Walls is like really is the first time, I think, for Macklemore that he's being really accepted in this genre.
I think it was probably more of like a organic thing, like, you know, hey, Big Boy, I'm doing this video. Wiz, I'm doing this video. You know, like, again, I think it's a situation where like these other artists are really into Macklemore, like, legitimately.
It's interesting that you don't see, you know, Kanye West or Eminem or 50 Cent or the big stars in there. It's sort of this level of a lot of these hip-hop up-and-coming acts like an A$AP Rocky or Trinidad James, who came up through the independent system. And I think they get what Macklemore and Ryan Lewis have been through, and I think they respect their hustle.
Well, one thing I think is really interesting about Macklemore and Ryan Lewis is they have this incredible underdog story, but you almost want to like put underdog in quotes because they check all these boxes for like what equals pop success right now. Incredibly handsome, two sort of indie-looking, hipster-looking, cool kids. Huge melodies, using like the most easily accessible, understandable sonic aspects of hip-hop. Very easy to understand lyrics. I don't know, if I ran a major record label, I would just like fire all my A&R guys and be like, you know, go home. Like, you haven't done your job.
And I think after Thrift Shop, people were sort of like, they're a one-trick pony. But then they keep coming back with more and more songs. And you know, like the song says, we can't hold them. They're just going to keep going.